We're really making progress here. The beginning of July 2013, and rebuild's really coming along. So it's only the 6th of July. Just got back from Independence Day, and I've been working out here all day this Saturday, and we're also having the trips too. 75 is out here. We have 3 runs today. What they're doing right now is they lowered the pressure and they emptied the tank because they found a leak in the water tank, and so now they emptied it out and they got the plug out, and they had the fan inside there. You can see the tube going down into it to air it out, and they gotta go in and repair the leak that's in there. So there's still some steam coming off of it because it's still pretty warm. Only just got done a couple hours ago, and he'll be doing some work inside there for tomorrow because it's still gotta pull trains tomorrow. You hear it simmering up there, the water on top of the columns on top of the firebox here. And it's only, as you can see up on that valve, you can just barely see it from up there, but it's only got about 70 pounds of pressure on it at the moment. But it's still pretty hot. As you can see, the steam and smoke coming out the door there and on the outside. Here we have the power car again. Still waiting to get us new set of trucks under it. It's going to be a little while longer though, because we're still working pretty hard on the 1225. And here's the old cab floor. You remember we took that out to put the new one under and get the cab on. And today I've been working pretty hard on pipes, cleaning them off and getting them run through, mostly the water pipes. See, we got some of the pumps here. These ones need to have some more cleaned off of them. You can see down here they got some already, and they'll be repainted and hooked back up. Mostly what we're trying to do is get things ready for the air lines. We got a lot of the water pipes on. As you can see, we had the injector pipes that come from the tender on, and now we got the one over there for the feed water and the cold water pump, which is on the truck on the other side here. And we've been carefully watching that as they've been doing welding above it, and now we got the pipes back on that, or heading to it. There's a hose connection that goes in between this pipe and the actual device itself. But we did get the hard pipes in there. Remember, this one was in here a couple years ago when I first started doing the videos, and we were trying to get this area cleaned up in here. And then we painted it, and then we had to take those bolts out. We drilled those out and put these new ones in. And like I said, showed you in the last update, that got repainted. And this pipe in here is also getting reconnected. It's not tightened. It's just so that it's in place. As you can see, the covering cloth is on it, so that when nothing will get down until we can actually reattach the pipe. So we've been carefully putting them back on there, and on the other side too, excuse me. And then pretty soon we're going to be putting the tanks back up in the hangers and running the air lines to them, which is why we had to get the water pipes on there, because they'll be in the way. We got some more superheater tubes in here waiting to get repairs on them. Hopefully get more of those in the boiler. We got the covers for the blowdowns that we're not using on here temporarily. Probably be up there more permanently in the near future. This one will actually have the blowdown valve on it. So we don't have 4 blowdowns like it had originally. Try and just use 2. And then, okay, like I said, on this side, and then you got the tailpipe thing here for the injector for the extra steam and water that doesn't get put into the boiler, and the pipe that goes along the side to that sends the water through to go to the boiler. and this connection here, which hasn't been tightened yet. Hopefully will soon be, but they gotta get a gasket for it. It's just held into place right now. These are the pipes that you saw last week being cleaned on. They've been painted and put up there. This one still needs some paint applied to it. Some of it needs to be reapplied in places. It's just one coat kind of thing. And we had the engine out today to hang up this bracket up here, this tank bracket, which also has hangers for the lines on the reverser and some of the brake lines too. And it was real tough getting up there. Almost 2 hours spent trying to get around the reverser and fitting up underneath the pipes just right, because we didn't want to have to take those down. We got real close, and the one was sitting on there. We thought just hit it with the hammer. You didn't want to break any of the threads though, but in the end we had to. We didn't break any threads that we know of, but we got it up there. And you think just prying on it with the bar is probably going to hurt more than what we did just tapping on it with the big sledgehammer into place. But I think it's okay. Then we had to move the pipes back over onto it, and hopefully now that's in there permanently. We could get the tanks hung and these ones too, and get the airlines on this side as well. So that's what we had going on today. Also had to finish up with the rods here. The engineer side rods are now all back on, although I gotta go over them in places with the protectant coating again, because it's kind of thin. And this is this arm here is the last one we put on today. We had it pretty much all back on. We had to get the main pin in here and fit it up just right and get it cleaned off so that would fit into place. There's a little key slot in there that slides into, and that thing weighs well over 100 pounds. Just the pin itself, and you gotta slide in there just right, because it's not off very far. So yeah, it was real tough. Good hour this morning trying to get it so it was the right way. And hung it up here. We actually had to move the engine before we could get the equalizing arm just right and put that in there. And it still needs a cotter key in it, but it'll go back and forth just the same. So now all the rods are back on it. Should work all the running gear should work just right now. Hopefully we won't have to deal with it much, other than when we go run it, put the grease in the bearings, and it'll be ready to go. Of course, the hard grease has to be heated by steam in order for that to happen. So right now we just got it packed with oil and the lighter grease, so that way the goose won't have any trouble moving it out. And it gets really dirty in here. Even just moving it out, you can tell the difference. I had to take a towel and wipe all this crud off here. I swear I did that earlier this year, and it wasn't so bad, but it was caked down there this time. Last week I was up there doing it on some of the older paint and on the sheeting there, so that way it didn't look too bad. I mean, it was full of dust. I hate doing that. Gotta make it look so that way you can see any problems on it. You don't want it dirty. It's a pet peeve of mine. You know, the real foamers out there, you know, people, train buffs who probably don't know what as much as they claim to, well, don't like it when you get the steam locomotive and you get out there and clean it. They want to see it dirty, like it's really working hard or something like that. But in reality, back in the day, these things were cleaned all the time. The railroad didn't like running dirty machines. I mean, up until the end. Then they got diesels. Even cleaned off the bell so it didn't look so bad. Got some Brasso up there. Hopefully got something on. There's some stains on it, but it's fine for right now. We'll do some real cleaning on it when this thing gets going. But yeah, that's just a walk around what we've had going on mostly today. Have some more pipes down here being cleaned off like I showed you earlier. And this over here is the arm for the reverser we had cleaned off. And this thing here will be where the spacer will go for when it turns. It's got a nice bearing on it. That's the only part. We just cleaned that off. We didn't scrape any paint off it. There shouldn't be any paint on it to begin with. Any dirt. Cleaned it all off and spray painted it. Now it's ready to go back on the engineer side, coming from the cab, connecting to the reverser itself. This, of course, is a screw type reverser and not like an air power reverser like you saw maybe like the 765 or if you've seen the old videos like any of the big boys, or maybe a even later steam locomotive like say an Allegheny. The Pere Marquette was pretty poor. They stuck with the old-fashioned, you got manually do it yourself. We got the for the gate here, we got the latches, well not the latches, but the little, well they're welded into place here too. I didn't notice that before, but I guess you'd have to. But yeah, now you can open up the trap door here and be able to get into the hopper and access the stoker screw. And also Jeff, he covered it up, but he got the speedometer cleaned up and oiled and put into place here. So that's all ready to go. Have the line strung to it down to the actual device that sits on top of the wheel. Here's again the reverser, and that rod will go on the end here and go through that bearing there, which is the part that we had cleaned off but not painted, and then fit all the way down there into that sprocket there on the reverser. And we'll seal up all this stuff when the cab gets closer to finished. So that's what's been going on today. And of course in this area here, I didn't mention in the video because I had to go help last month pretty quickly, is the lines for air for the device like the sander and the bell, which I have not shown you yet because they're kind of buried away in the combine. We'll eventually get in here in the next couple of months because we got to run all the air lines. They'll actually probably be in here sooner. And of course we got to drill the holes in the floor for the injector, so that way those levers will be put in here too. And I don't know if you noticed in the last video, I don't think I mentioned the switch for the headlight has been taken out. So that way, and the little panel's been covered, so that way nothing gets into it. We got the controls up here, manifold controls all up on the brackets. Those are ready to go. Showed you that in last. I don't think we got the pipe up there yet. The big steam pipe. Nope. But that'll be up there soon, hopefully. And have all these connected to it to the different valves inside of that. Just like in the photo. And that's where things stand in here. Got the welder's helmet because they've been doing little bits of welding. I don't think I mentioned in the last video, going back through that, what some of the stuff. Here is the control for the cold water pump, which is that thing down there. Jeff was telling me how these things work. It kind of works. You can use that or the injector, or you can use them both at the same time. The engineer usually uses the injector because it's on his side. But the engineer also has the control, the crank that runs across here, which is not here, but you can see it here in the photograph. The engineer can control the water pump on this side. And Jeff was telling me how that worked. He said that you open that up and allows the water to flow. The pump pushes it up to the heater in the front, and it eventually makes its way into the boiler. It has to get to a certain amount because that's cold water that it's pumping. In the injector, it's heated by, I guess he said it's heated by the steam itself. I can't remember. We went through it for about 20 minutes here, but he said that you can use them both if there's an emergency. Open them up all the way. I wouldn't recommend you do that all the time though, because it fills the boiler up pretty fast. And he was saying that he knows where they've done it. done both at the same time, but not all the way. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I guess if you have an emergency, you know it's pretty reliable to have both of them going at the same time, even though you probably only need one. And of course, like I said, these pipes down here are being cleaned. Let's see. Yeah, the Boilermakers are still here every week trying to get things put on here. The bolts, they've made it up to the crown sheet mostly, driving the big stays down in there, but they still got a few holes open in the combustion chamber area that they gotta seal up. We really gotta get some primer up there, hopefully in the next week or so that doesn't start rusting. But we gotta move on the macro epoxy, the black paint, over the primer on this end, get that done. Hopefully we'll see some more progress. And again, I wiped it last week to make sure that it was still black up there and not turning brown. It's pretty bad. You got it inside and it's getting all messed up and not even under steam at all. It's pretty bad. Personally, cleanliness is next to godliness, and you can find a lot more problems that way and hopefully fix them before it gets any worse. Whereas if you got a dirty steam locomotive and you're constantly looking for the problem, you can't find it, that's another story. There's another pipe down here. So we're getting things, there's so many pipes left in the combine, we get them out 2, 3 at a time and trying to have the grinders and the wire wheels out, getting those all done. But we're making some progress here. Okay, we'll do another update pretty soon. I think Ethan will be here tomorrow. Maybe I'll have him bring his HD camera. We'll get another update, and I'll show you some more stuff. We'll see what happens. Okay, from Wasso, this is update 1 for July 2013. And 12:25 is getting ready to go.